Welcome, 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 everyone. Welcome back to the Detox Divas this evening. This week, I'm so excited to have you here. So get yourself comfortable wherever you are, grab something warm to drink if you'd like, and let's get into it. So tonight is one of those calls where I knew the moment I saw the news this week that the timing was no coincidence, especially for those of us that are on day 3 of our liver cleanse right now. And if you saw the headline going around, you already know what I'm talking about. And if you did not see it yet, you are about to. So tonight we are going to be talking about something that almost, I wouldn't say almost everyone, I would say every single one of us have this in our bodies right now. And tonight we're going to talk about the science behind it, why it matters, what it's doing inside the terrain. You know me, I love to talk about that terrain health, and what this 21-day protocol is going to look like actually when it starts moving out. So let's go. I think I'm ready if you guys are. So my name is Tina Heuermann, for those of you that are new. And if you are new to the call, please let us know in the chat so we can give you some love. I am a wellness educator and an international best-selling author. I'm the founder of the Detox Divas, which is this fun little community right here that you are in tonight. And I'm the founder of iRose Healing, which is just my personal healing practice that I run with my clients. So I've been doing root cause healing, health-focused education for probably 14, 15 years now. And what I love about this community is that you guys show up ready to go deep. And I love that because I love to geek out on the science. I love to share what I learn, and I love to see people teaching it back on their own social media. So that's like a huge reward for me when I see someone say, I was on a call last night and here's something I learned, because this education is the foundation for your audience's education. So I know that you're not here for surface level wellness tips and fluff. You are here to understand the mechanisms of the products. You're here to understand the mechanisms of your body. And so that's what we are going to do tonight. And none of this would be possible without these two amazing women. So I want to take a moment to acknowledge them, the beautiful faces behind the products. And Paula Scarcella on the left is the founder of and CEO of Zalara. Paula built this company with one conviction: the body recognizes food and whole plants, not synthetics or chemicals. And that is the foundation of everything that we build our business on. 15 years later, she is still building from that same foundation with very carefully sourced ingredients. Sometimes it takes her months and even years to find the perfect ingredient. And we've got transparent labels and a commitment to doing things right, even when the easier path would be louder and cheaper. And I just have so much respect for that. She will refuse ingredients if they are not up to her and Alexandria's reputation. And speaking of Alexandria, master botanical formulator, 30 years experience in essential oils, herbalism, and natural wellness. And what makes Alexandria so extraordinary is that her formulas come from decades of study and clinical use, not from marketing department chasing the next trend. We're here to make an impact, and their commitment to quality and integrity is the reason that I can sit here tonight and teach this with confidence. These are not products I'm guessing about. These are formulas that I trust to share with you, to share with my family, and to take in my own body. So before we go any further, just want to do a little bit of housekeeping. The information I'm sharing tonight has not been evaluated by the FDA, not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, prevent any diseases. What I share here is for educational purposes only. I am not a doctor. I am a research freak. I share my education and what I learned with all of you. This is not substitute for advice of your healthcare provider. If you're pregnant, nursing, have a serious medical condition, or on prescription medications, please consult your doctor before starting any new protocol. Keep products out of reach of children and pets. So let's get started. So this is the article that I saw this week, and I need you to take a look at this. There was a study made mainstream. Hold on, I got a tickle. It was a Dutch study that was published in Environment International, one of the first studies of its kind. It detected microplastics in actually 84% of healthy adults tested, not sick people, healthy adults. And a separate 2024 study found microplastics in 88.9% of the participants. So I would guess that more people probably had it. Not sure why 100% didn't. That's that what 12% of people did not have microplastics, and I would like to know what kind of lifestyle they have. They're probably detox freaks like me. And the most common type was PET plastic, the kind used in drink bottles and food packaging, found in 50% of the blood samples. Polystyrene was found in a third of the count samples, and polyethylene was found in 25%. And the plastic additive chemicals found in those blood samples included endocrine disrupting phthalates. Only 23% of the people tested had no detectable plastic in their blood at all. And these compounds have already been confirmed in the human placenta, in lung tissue, in stool samples. And now we know they're in our blood system too, our bloodstream. So for those of us in this terrain health world where we look at the whole body, we don't chase symptoms, this really is not shocking. This is just confirmation of what we preach on the Detox Divas. But for the rest of the world, the headline landed kind of like a bomb this week for some people. Some people saw it, oh, it doesn't bother me because I'm not sick. Well, it's going to bother you. And I want to make sure that when your friends and family come to you with questions, that you have the answers to talk about this. So here's what I need you to understand right from the start, okay? Terrain health educators have been talking about toxic accumulation for years. We talk about it every single week almost on the Detox Divas. The idea that the body is not just fighting germs and bacteria, but that it's actually carrying a chemical load it was never designed to carry. That is not fringe thinking. That is always been the terrain science. And now we have major news outlets confirming that petrochemical compounds are showing up in the blood of people who just had heart attacks and in the blood of healthy adults who had no idea. So we're ahead of this. We knew this before it was news. And now the rest of the world is starting to catch up to what we've been talking about on these calls and what you talk about when you're talking about the products or talking with your friends. And don't let that conversation stop. So let's get into the headline a little bit deeper because the headline tells you it's here. And tonight we're going to talk about what we're going to do about it. So let's talk about what this actually means first. And when I say petrochemicals, I want you to picture a specific category of compounds that were derived from oil refinery, okay? These are the building blocks of almost everything synthetic in modern life. And it started about 1920. Don't let me get off on a tangent here talking about the Rockefellers and the oil tycoon, John D. Rockefeller, and how he systematically purged holistic healing from our country, from the world, by funding colleges that only went with petrochemical pharmaceuticals, okay? That's all I'm going to say about that. I've got a whole nother call I can do on him. But the plastic containers you store your leftovers in, the detergent you wash your clothes in, the shampoo and body wash and lotions and makeup sitting in your bathroom right now, the new car smell, the fresh paint smell, even though that smells so good. I love the smell of fresh paint. The carpet in your home. You know, when we built this home, we had the flooring put in and we moved in that afternoon. Didn't even cross my mind. And I'm like, Todd, what is that smell? And he said, that's the release, the gas release from the flooring. I'm like, holy crap. So good thing we detox, right? So every time you encounter something synthetic and chemical, you're getting that exposure. And I know I've said this on a Detox Diva call before, but I went to a gas station, middle of August, 100 and some degrees outside, Sitting there on both sides of the entry door were pallets of bottled water. Sitting in the sun, plastic bottled water that would eventually go in the cooler for you to purchase and drink. And what that does is when that plastic heats up, it releases those chemical compounds into the water, those cancer-causing, hormone-disrupting, endocrine-disrupting chemicals into your body. Okay, so get yourself a tumbler and only drink water out of that. So these compounds were not designed to be in the body at all. They were designed to be stable, not break down, to hold their shape through heat and cold and time. That stability is what makes them useful in manufacturing. And that same stability is what makes them a danger once they're inside of you. So they do not break down. They accumulate, and they're in 90% of us, right? So where do they come from? Because I think a lot of people hear this and think, I'm not working in a factory, I'm not being directly exposed, but here's what the research has told us. Environmental exposure is happening through the air, through the water, through the soil. Volatile organic compounds are off-gassing from synthetic materials constantly in every indoor space you occupy. Sofas, carpets, flooring, paint, just like I just said. Dietary sources are another real one. BPA and phthalates leach from the plastic food packaging into the food itself, especially when heated. So it's still going to leach into the food. Last night I bought chicken kebabs from Aldi's, and each of the kebabs were in their own little plastic sleeve. And I'm like, oh, okay. You know, now that I've been researching this, I'm like, okay, there's another exposure. So household products are another major route. Cleaning sprays. Ugh. The chemical cleaning sprays actually make me sick now. Now that I've been working so hard on cleaning out my body, those other smells are so gross to me. Dryer sheets, synthetic fragrances, conventional personal care products, all absorbed through the skin and lungs every single day. And then we have the biomagnification. Every animal in your food chain has been concentrating these same compounds in their fatty tissues their entire life. And by the time that food reaches your plate, the concentration is higher than what the animal was initially exposed to. And so this accumulation is not just happening in unusual circumstances, it's happening every single day in every single route. So these detoxes, that's why I can't talk enough about how important they are. So kudos to everyone that's doing the liver cleanse right now. So there are 7 main different plastics. And I just want to kind of go over this just real quick, because I think this is one of the most practical things that you can know when you're looking at a bottle. You can see those numbers up there. Take a screenshot of this and then go through your cupboards and see which of those logos or emojis or icons or whatever you want to call them are on the products that you're using every day. Every single piece of plastic has a number on it. That's that thing at the top. And inside a recycling triangle on the bottom. So that number tells you exactly what kind of product or plastic you're dealing with. Number 1 is the PET, water bottles, soda bottles, food containers. This one was found in 50% of the blood samples in that Dutch study. Number 3 is the PVC, vinyl. That's your plumbing pipes. That's the plumbing in your house. That's your cling wrap and some food packaging. Number 6 is polystyrene, styrofoam coffee cups, your disposable ones, your takeout containers. That's found in 1/3 of blood samples. Remember, heat activates them also and releases them. So when you go out to dinner and they have the plastic styrofoam containers, you put that hot food in there and set it on that styrofoam, what's happening? It's releasing more of those chemicals. So number 7 is the catch-all, and that's where the BPA lives. 2, 4, and 5 are generally considered less problematic, but less problematic does not really mean safe. The goal has always been to reduce plastic content with your food and your body as much as possible. Best thing I ever got were the glass leftover containers from Amazon. I do not know why I held out for so long. I thought, oh, people are just being fancy with their leftovers, getting the glass containers. And so I was kind of stubborn about it, but we moved in here. I got the glass containers, and now I don't use my plastic ones at all. So here's what none of these numbers change. Not one of them is biodegradable. Not one of them. They break down into smaller and smaller pieces, but they never disappear, which is exactly how they end up in the bloodstream. So here's what makes this particular category of toxins so uniquely challenging for your body. These compounds were engineered to be stable, not to react, not to break down under normal conditions. That engineering means that the body has no knowledge, no innate mechanism to recognize them as foreign, and no efficient built-in pathway to remove them. Okay, so they go in the body and they have nowhere to go. The body has no idea how to get rid of them. They cross the gut lining, they absorb directly through the skin, they enter through the respiratory tract, and with every breath in a synthetic indoor environment. So once they're in, they're looking for some place to go. They're fat soluble, which means they do not circulate in the blood for long. They go looking for fatty tissues, for organs, for places to settle in, and then they stay. So when you see someone that has excess fat on them, they have a lot of excess chemicals stored in that fat also. Okay, there's direct correlation right there. This is not theoretical. This is the research that just confirmed that. These compounds are in the bloodstream, and the bloodstream is just where they pass through on their way to those fat tissues. Nearly 4 out of 10 people have fatty liver disease, and most people don't even know it. We have 46 people on the call tonight. So that would be 5 people that probably have fatty liver on this call. So we're going to shift here from the plastic in the blood to what's happening in the liver, because these two things are connected in a way most people have never told. You've probably heard me mention a little bit on the Diva calls. Fatty liver disease currently affects 40% of the global population, and that is not a fringe health issue. That is almost every other person in the room with us right now, okay? In the United States alone, more than 122 million adults are projected to be living with it by 2050. Among people with type 2 diabetes, the number climbs to 55 to 70%. Globally, 1.3 billion people have fatty liver disease right now. And the most alarming part is it's not the number, it's that most of them have no idea. Because the liver does not send pain signals until the damage is already significant, and it just quietly stores what it cannot clear, and it keeps going until it just can't anymore. But here's the thing, you know me and kids, this is the part that really bothers me. We used to think that fatty liver disease was something that happened after decades of hard living. And then we started finding it in teenagers, then in elementary school kids, and then in toddlers. 2-year-olds have not made a single bad choice. Well, maybe a tantrum here and there. But she has not had a drink. She's not had a cigarette. She has not had a desk job. What she has had is food wrapped in plastic. Formula mixed in plastic bottles from a plastic nipple, bath products full of synthetic fragrances, and air in homes built with synthetic materials. The petrochemical load starts, actually, we did a call last year on it, poisoned before they're born. There's 200 chemicals in the cord blood that have been found. So researchers took children with fatty liver disease, and simply removed the added sugars and fructose from their diet. No medication, no surgery, no special protocol. They just removed what was causing the damage. 9 days later, the liver fat had decreased measurably along with fasting insulin levels. 9 days, you guys. That's what the body can do the moment you stop handing it something it cannot process. This is not about blame. This is about understanding what our kids are up against, but what we can do about it, right? We have a choice. So your body has this bucket, okay? And every petrochemical that comes in adds something to that bucket. every synthetic fragrance, every nonstick pan, get yourself some cast iron, thank me later. Every plastic container, every pesticide residue, every dryer sheet that your 24/7 taco, from your sheets to your clothes, your undergarments and everything has that dryer sheet chemical on it. And every receipt, cash register receipt touched at the grocery store, each one adds a drop and another drop and another drop, year after year after year after year. And the body handles it and it compensates and it stores what it cannot clear, and it keeps going because we're beast mode people. And that's just the body doing its job. That's the body protecting you. And then one day the bucket is just overfilling and it can't keep up anymore. And what comes out looks like a thyroid problem, maybe a hormone problem, maybe unexplained weight gain or difficulty losing weight, that the weight will not move no matter what you try. The fatigue that sleep does not fix, or the skin that just stops behaving and breaks out all the time. The body that feels like it's fighting you at every single turn. The symptoms feel sudden, but the accumulation was not. So let me make this kind of personal for a moment. So think about your morning today. I want you to start counting everything that I say, and then I want you to put a number in the comments down below. Maybe you made eggs with a nonstick pan. The coating on that pan releases the compounds when heated. You threw a load of laundry in last night. Maybe you sprayed that pan too, right? You're adding extra chemicals there. The load of laundry you threw in last night with the dryer sheet. The synthetic fragrance from that dryer sheet is on your clothes, touching your skin right now. You showered and you shampoo and conditioner with synthetic fragrances. You stopped for coffee, you touched the receipt. Thermal receipts are coated with BPA and it absorbs through your fingertips in seconds. The second you touch a receipt from the store, you've got that chemical exposure. You put a plastic lid in your cup, you got in your car with an air freshener hanging from the mirror. None of this felt like a chemical exposure. You didn't feel them burning. You didn't feel them passing through the skin tissue. It felt like Thursday. And that's the problem. That's that chronic low level daily exposure. It doesn't trigger that alarm. It's just the world that we live in, made with petrochemical contact, completely invisible, in completely normal a day. So how many did you have? Let me see that in the comments. Let me see if I can see some of those. Yeah, wow, I know. Scary, isn't it? So here's the piece. Here's the piece that most people have never been taught, and it's the piece that kind of changes a lot of things. So most people think toxins flush out. Drink more water, sweat it out, done, all gone, not bothering me anymore. And that absolutely works for water-soluble compounds. Those dissolve in water. They leave through the urine and sweat the way they're supposed to. But petrochemicals are fat soluble. They do not dissolve in water. They do not pass through. They dissolve in fat, which means they do not flush. They find the nearest fatty tissue, an organ, a cell membrane, a fat deposit, and they bind. They set up their tent. They got the campfire going. They're setting out plates for the family to come over. And those chemicals are sitting right there in your body, and they stay there until the body has a specific targeted pathway to move them out. Drinking more water does not create that pathway. More water is great and it's necessary, right? We have to drink that water for overall health and for any detox process like we're doing right now with the liver cleanse. But water alone cannot reach what is bound in that fatty tissue. A targeted fat soluble clearance protocol does. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about tonight. So why exactly do they stay? So fat soluble toxins seek out that fatty tissue and those organs. They bind, they settle, they accumulate over time because the body has no efficient built-in elimination route for them. Your liver's trying to process them through the two-phase detox system. Your lymphatic system is trying to move them, even though it doesn't have a pump. But the volume being deposited through daily living exceeds the body's naturally occurring capacity to clear them. So think about what that means over 5 years, over 10 years, over a lifetime of daily exposure from food, water, air, skin, and everything else that you touch that has those petrochemicals on it. The body was not designed for this amount of volume. I had an argument with somebody. Oh, you don't need to detox. Your liver does it anyway. It does, yes. But there comes a time and a point that that bucket is so full that the liver just cannot clear the bucket, okay? And as a result, every hormonal issue, every energy problem, every increasing burden that sits beneath every single symptom, every inflammatory response that is not resolved the way it should. Your body is not broken, it's just overwhelmed. And there's a huge difference with that. So the hormones cannot tell the difference. And this is where it gets really personal. I know there's a lot of people on this call tonight that have got some hormonal issues, and petrochemicals are endocrine disruptors. That means that they're going to interfere with your hormonal system, and they do it in a way that's particularly really bad because the body cannot distinguish them from its own hormones. Some of these compounds are structurally similar to estrogen. They bind to the estrogen receptor sites and activate them, adding an artificial estrogenic signal the body never asked for. And that contributes to estrogen dominance, irregular cycles, a whole cascade of hormonal symptoms that you may have been treating for years without getting to the root. We're all about root cause here. So here we are at the root. So others are going to interfere with the thyroid and the hormone signaling. They sit on receptor sites and block thyroid hormones from doing its job. That is one of the reasons that thyroid symptoms are so widespread and so resistant to treatment, even when the lab numbers look normal. That weight that's not going to move, that sleep that is broken, the mood that is unstable, the energy that's just gone. Petrochemical accumulation is almost always a part of that story. And most of the time, like, nobody tells you. Is this new to you guys? Did you know this part before? So the liver is right at the center of it all. You know, we do liver detoxes 3 to 4 times a year around here in our wellness group. And I just love to see everyone's posts and comments and how they're doing. So thank you for showing up in the groups too, because that feeds my soul. But your liver has 2 phases of detoxification. We've talked about this a little bit before. Phase 1 takes the fat-soluble toxins and begins to convert them into water-soluble compounds so they can eventually be eliminated, okay? Phase 2 takes those converted compounds and packages them up for removal through the bile, the stool, and the urine. The petrochemicals overwhelm phase 1. They are constant, they are heavy, daily input that the liver cannot keep pace with. And here's the part that most people don't know. When phase 1 is overwhelmed, you end up with a backlog of activated compounds that are actually more harmful than what came in before they processed into your body. And that backlog is what drives that chronic inflammation you feel throughout the body. It's what drives that hormonal chaos. It's what contributes to that toxic load that sits beneath every single chronic symptom that will not resolve in your body. And supporting the liver is not optional in a protocol like this. It's the foundation that everything is built on. So the adrenals, right? They are a piece that often gets overlooked, and they are very, very critical. So your adrenal glands produce the cortisol, your primary stress hormone. Cortisol manages inflammation, blood sugar, energy, and your ability to mount a stress response and then recover from it. And when the body is carrying a heavy petrochemical burden, the adrenals read that as chronic stress signal. Inflammation is stress to the body. A high toxic load is stress to the body. So the adrenals are constantly producing cortisol, trying to manage an inflammatory state that never resolves because the source keeps coming from every single angle. So the lymphatic system, that's your body's waste removal system, and it runs parallel to your circulatory system. Its job is to pick up that cellular waste, the toxins and the debris, and move them all out. But when the liver is overwhelmed and the toxic load is high, the lymphatic system becomes the overflow. It gets into there, and the body tries to route excess weight through the lymphatic system to take some pressure off the liver. But the lymphatic system can only move so much, and that becomes congested. That becomes like pond scum with bacteria growing in it. And that's where cancers and things can start growing, and mold and parasites. Like that's a beautiful environment for cancer and parasites and different things like that when that lymphatic system gets sluggish. And so you're going to experience that puffiness, especially around the face and the eyes in the morning, that swollen, sluggish feeling, the tenderness in the lymph node area. You're going to get sick a lot, and that sense that your body is holding on to things it just can't let go of. So when you open those lymphatic the lymphatic system, that drainage piece, any real detox protocol is going to have that, like we do. And without the liver, without it, the liver has nowhere to send what it's trying to move. So I want to ask you something. How many of you have weight that will not move no matter what you've tried? Weight that just sits there even when you're doing everything right? How many of you had skin that does not look or feel the way it used to? How many of you have hormones that have been addressed and treated and supplemented, but the symptoms keep coming back? How many of you are tired in a way that sleep is just not fixing? How many of you feel like your body is holding on to something that you can't figure out what it is? These are not separate problems with separate causes. They are one story, and the petrochemical accumulation is a major part of that story that most of you have never been told. And so tonight we are going to change that. So here's what you've got to understand before we move into the protocol. So your body was designed for a natural world, holistic living. Your liver evolved to process plant compounds, metabolic waste, and the occasional natural toxin the environment threw at it. Your lymphatic system evolved to drain cellular debris. Your adrenals evolved to respond to acute short-term stressors and then recover. But none of these symptoms were designed for daily multi-route synthetic petrochemical load that never stops coming in. It's all day, every day. And the frustrating part is that willpower is not going to fix this either. Eating cleaner helps reduce the incoming load, but the body needs targeted support to open up that clearance. And so that's exactly what this protocol does. So real petrochemical clearance requires three things to happen at the same time. The liver has to be able to complete both phases, phase 1 and 2. It needs botanical support, botanical plant medicine, that reduces that inflammatory burden and helps move the backlog all the way through and all the way out. Then the lymphatic system has to be open and actively moving. Congested lymphatic systems are the bottleneck in any detox protocol. And if you're not actively supporting that, the waste the liver is trying to move really doesn't have anywhere to go. And then the adrenals have to be calm because enough to let that process happen. And as long as the adrenals are in a stress response and you feel stressed all the time, the body's going to keep prioritizing survival over detox and repair. It's going to try to calm you down before it's going to let you release anything it no longer needs. It's got to feel that safety. So those three systems, they work together as one. You cannot support one and ignore the other two. So this here, this is a friend of mine. The video is a little blurry. Is it going? Oh, shoot. It's not going to play. Oh, darn it. Hold on. I'm going to go into my chat. Because this is, I think you're really going to like this. Let's see, where'd you go? Come on, open. All right, let me move.
Hey, I'm Dr. Janine Ridgway. I have a really funny, quick testimonial.
Pause. Let me bring this up here. Put that screen down. All right. Sorry for this, guys. I'm going to bring this up to this screen. Oh, I got to shut that down too. And then we'll come back to that. But this is just a quick little testimony. You saw her credentials. Dr. Janine is a client of mine. She is, you can see her resume right there. She's an amazing person. And she accidentally used the petrochemical detox. So let's hear her little story.
I am a chiropractor, naturopathic doctor. I have over 20 years of clinical experience, which is crazy. I can't believe it. That's a long time. Anyway, I have a clinical line that I use. I'm one of those people that do all the things. In addition to that, I absolutely love teas. I love powders and I love essential oils. And so when the petrochemical detox came out, I bought it. Printed out the little sheet, had the instructions. And one of the things you have to do, you take these essential oils and you blend them in a blending bottle. Mine is right here. I like these little cobalt blue bottles, but you blend it in a blending bottle and then you apply that essential oil to different areas because petrochemicals are stored in fat. So you apply them over different fatty areas. And I'm like, this is great. This is a huge problem. These are major endocrine disruptors causing us to be fat, sick, tired, and all the things, right? So I put this together. I've got this little cute little blue bottle and I sit it in the bathroom. Forget all about it. Never really did the protocol. Then one night I was getting ready to take a bath and I said, what is this? This is sitting here. And I opened it up and I'm like, smell it. It smells good. But I'm like, I have no idea what this is. And then I remembered, oh, this is the petrochemical detox. So what do? I don't apply it to a little area. No, I put it in the bathtub with me. I put it in the bath, had a nice mineral salts relaxing bath, and then I went to bed. Well, the next morning I woke up and I actually wear this Whoop strap, which tracks everything for me. And it was telling me that even though I slept 7.5 hours and I got 4 hours and 22 minutes of restorative sleep, which is really good from a sleep standpoint, my recovery was trash. My body was like doing some stuff. It was going through some things. I'm like, what in the heck is going on? So I then went to my scan that I do, and I scanned all of these different vials and different toxins. And I'm like, what's going on with my body? Guess what came up? Top of the list, formaldehyde. Formaldehyde is a major petrochemical that my body was releasing and detoxing. And a lot of times as we release these things, they show up and they might rear their little head. And so that's what had happened with my recovery. Not only that, the next thing on the list was hazardous toxins. The next thing on the list was exotoxins. And the next thing on the list was a homeopathic frequency called chemical detox for me to run to help my body process that. So that let me know that those essential oils were doing exactly what they said they were going to do. It was helping to liberate those out. And then the tea, which comes behind it, helps your body to actually release them out the proper channels. So there you go. That's my story. Probably shouldn't put it in the bath. You should probably follow the directions. However, that let me know that it is doing what it says it's going to do. And that's why I love essential oils.
Isn't she amazing? So I have a disclaimer on here where it says, please do not share this video outside of this presentation. Dr. Janine is a medical advisor for a clinical supplement line. She is the face of the company, but she still loves our products. So she cannot support another brand publicly. So I do ask that you respect her for giving me the video and testimony and not share this part of it. If you share the video, they're going to see it, right? But we're not going to just take Dr. Janine out of the video and share that independently. But I had to share it with you guys. So let me get back to my notes. All right. So I have been waiting for this moment. So I told some people before the call started, like when I saw this headline, I reached out to Paula and like, please bring this detox protocol back. Number one, I've never done it. Why have I never done it? I have no idea because I love a great detox. But when I saw that headline, I knew that, especially after Dr. Janine's testimony, that I had to make sure that you understood how important this detox is. The woman Dr. Janine detoxes all the time. She's a clean eater. She's very conscious about what she touches and uses on her body. But yet formaldehyde and all of those other things still came out of hiding by using this protocol. That's how powerful this is, okay? These are 4 botanicals working together. The liver health is supported. You've got lymphatic system stimulated, and your adrenals are going to be balanced on this as well. So the first piece is the holy basil tea. This is the liver and the inflammation piece. Holy basil, also known as Tulsi. We also have Tulsi trim. So if you have Tulsi trim and you use that religiously, you can continue to use that during this detox and just get the other products. It's okay. But this is your stress response and support the liver in the detox work. So this is not just holy basil. This formula combines holy basil with marshmallow root, which soothes and protects the gut. So elimination pathways stay clear. It's got blessed thistle, which supports the liver and the gallbladder and enhances that bile production that we talk about all the time. It's got senna leaf for gentle bowel regularity. So what the liver packages up in those little pretty boxes to get rid of it actually moves out. And then it's got papaya for digestive enzymes support. It's got ginger root to reduce the inflammation and gut mobility. So this tea goes to work morning and night. You're going to take 1 scoop in warm water, up to 8 ounces of water twice a day. It's doing the continuous steady liver and inflammation throughout all 21 days of this protocol. This is the internal foundation of the entire thing. Then we have the adrenal piece. So this is the Adrenocrene. It's a topical essential oil blend. It's applied directly over the liver and kidney area twice a day. When you're using it normally, this protocol is a little bit different. So typically you could use that every day if you've got some stress response going on. So this has sweet basil in it, shown to lower cortisol levels, calm the nervous system. It's got dillweed, which is anti-inflammatory properties that fight the free radical damages associated with that high toxic load. It's got lovage root, which helps calm that anxiety and promote parasympathetic state within the body, which is the rest and repair state that the body needs actually to detox. And then it has peppermint, which has been shown to assist in lowering the cortisol and stimulating the endocrine release. So this is how you're going to prepare this. You're going to combine 2 bottles of the Citrus Joy into that bottle, like she said, with the bottle of Adrenocrene. All 3 bottles go into one of those. And you're going to let it sit for at least 12 hours before your first use. So all of the herbs can combine, and then you're going to apply that blend generously morning and night to the stomach and legs. So the lymphatic piece is going to be the pink grapefruit. Oh, I didn't do citrus joy, did I? I thought I did. I thought I had that up here. I do. It's just out of order. So this is, you're going to put 15 to 12 drops in 16 ounces of water. Pink grapefruit is one of the most powerful lymphatic activators in botanical aromatherapy. Its therapeutic properties include antiseptic, antitoxin, antibacterial, diuretic, it's going to help purify and cleanse the blood and the lymphatic system. So the protocol calls for 5 to 12 drops and 16 ounces of water at least once a day. I encourage you to do it more than once a day if you're working to move some weight. Okay, remember the grapefruit diet. And here's something I want you to understand about pink grapefruit specifically. It has a unique fat dissolving characteristic. Okay. It's actually famous for reducing cellulite and for releasing what's stored in those fatty tissues, because petrochemicals are stored in the fat, right? We just talked about that. Pink grapefruit is doing double work in this protocol. It's the heavy hitter, I would say. So it's going to help move that lymph, and it's helping mobilize what's been sitting in the tissue so the body can finally clear it. And that fat loss that people experience when they do this protocol is not a side effect. It's the mechanism. Okay, this is the drainage piece, and it's running through all 21 days. So here's the Citrus Joy that should have been with the other one. So Citrus Joy is a blend of 7 citrus essential oils. You've got sweet orange in there, tangerine, pink, more pink grapefruit, red mandarin and green mandarin, lime, and bergamot. So these are the oils with constituents known to calm and relax. also while strengthening that immune system and improving overall well-being. So in this protocol, Citrus Joy, like we said, companion to the Adrenocline, the 2 bottles go into one of those mixers with a full bottle of the Adrenocline. You're going to apply that to your skin. Now, here's one thing. I reached out to Paula. This is not in the protocol. So I did talk to her about a binder because I do think binders are very, very important when you are detoxing. I would add the activated charcoal powder on, or the heavy metal detox one would be equally good. I think the heavy metal detox would probably be a little bit better, but activated charcoal would be the more affordable route for you to add that on to the petrochemical detox that is now available on our shop site. So this is something that if you've got food poisoning, if you're feeling sick, activated charcoal is something that you would just put into water. It is the binder. It is going to help eliminate that food poisoning. And you're going to do about 1/2 to 1 teaspoon of this once a day, preferably before bed. And this part is important. You've got to take it at least 2 hours away from medications and your supplements and your food. So activated charcoal is not selective. It's going to bind to everything in its path, which is its superpower. And the reason you need to time it carefully. So make sure your bowels are moving daily before you start using it. You want an open exit for what it's capturing. And you can also use this externally in your bath, in your foot soaks as a detoxifying agent. You can make a skin mask with it. And so that would be available separately from the detox kit. So like we said, you can take a screenshot of this if you're thinking of talking about this on social media, or if you are going to be doing this. This is a kind of just like your little cheat sheet on how to do the petrochemical detox. So I wanted you to have that. But of course, we have the product information pages too that have it all laid out. So let me get down here. All right. So Purge Tonic is the free product for next month. This month is the Breathe Essential Oil and the Sinus Soothe. So if you order tonight, then you're also going to get the Essential Oil Breathe and the Sinus Soothe. But don't forget that the SEACT price goes up on August 1st from $14.95 to I'm not sure what. And you're also going to have the buy one, get one free black seed oil. So if you're new, that's going to come with the Purge Tonic. The Purge Tonic is going to come with any 100 CV ordered, like the petrochemical detox. If you're existing, it's too late in the month to do an auto ship. So you would not get the free product if you purchase that tonight on auto ship. Anyway, so Purge Tonic is so powerful. This is actually one of Dr. Janine's favorite products. This and Purity are her 2 favorite products with Green Organics with Zolara. And this has dandelion root. It's got burdock root. Burdock root cleanses the blood. I've got 3 burdock roots growing on my property right now. It has organic rhubarb root. It's got pau d'arco bark in it, organic cat's claw, sheep sorrel, golden seal. It is formulated. And if you notice, SEAC ingredients are in here. So this is very similar to SEAC tea. That's why she loves this. So the medicinal constituents are doing serious work with this. So the sesquiterpene lactones are known for their cleansing and detox supporting properties. The anthraquinones support cleansing and bowel movement, and then the naphthoquinones provide the antimicrobial support. And then from cat's claw, you've got your immune modulation. So you're going to do about 20 drops. You can take this. All of our products are designed to work synergistically together. This is safety group 4, so it's not for use by children or pregnant nursing people. It contains the rhubarb root, which should not be used if you have or develop diarrhea or loose stools or abdominal pain. Read the caution list on that. And then that is the end of the call. And I'm so grateful. I cannot tell you what it means to me to have you guys show up every week. I truly appreciate you. I love doing these calls. I love sharing my passion. And And I love spending this time with you guys each week. I will have the replay up on the YouTube channel very soon for you to share with friends. I know I'm going to take some screenshots and send them to my husband because I know that he needs to see some of this. But anyway, next week we are going to do a back to school immune boosting for the kids. So grab your mamas, grab your daycare providers, grab anyone that loves a child because they're going to want to be on that call. Being a daycare provider for 16 years, I know the immune instability that happens as soon as school starts. So anyway, you guys have a great evening. I so appreciate you. Like I said, thank you for showing up each week for yourself and for your friends and a little bit for me. So have a great evening, everyone. Bye-bye.